We're here to talk a bit about our program, a bit about your future and what we do. We brought a demo reel with us, which we'll get to in a couple of minutes. A bit about our program. As the sign says, we're celebrating our 20th year. We started off not us personally, but the program started off in 1989. A lot different program then than it is now. The animation industry has changed a lot in 20 years. We used to be a 2-year program, now we're a 3-year program. We're a advanced diploma program and not a degree. 3-year advanced diploma gives us a chance to impart all the knowledge that we think the students need to have to be successful in the animation industry, get into a studio, get a job, and be able to hold that job within that amount of time. Some of the things that we looked at through our advisory board, and which every college has an advisory board of people who are in the animation industry. We meet twice a year. We put the question to them if we should be a degree program or not. We look at things like the expense. The tuition would be very expensive for a degree program. Right now, I think our tuition is around $2,000 a semester. A degree would double or triple that at least. We have to look at a 4-year program as opposed to a 3-year program. We have to look at what the degree program gets, or can we do that through articulation agreements through other schools. Our 3 years going against 3 years at another school that does have a degree program, et cetera, et cetera. Most studios will ask you if you can draw something. They ask you to do a drawing test to see how well you animate. They don't ask you where you went to school or what your marks were. It's quite different being in an arts course. You still have to find ways to teach everything that you need to be taught and to evaluate it, but the end result is, are you capable of doing what the industry needs you to do, what a studio needs you to be able to do to be successful?
And a lot of that comes from a lot of what we instill is a really decent work ethic. We push you guys hard because we are industry professionals. We both have over 20 years experience, so we know what it takes to be successful animators or artists in the animation industry. So by getting you to adopt a professional attitude and adopt a specific process to thinking about animation, your chance of success is far greater. So we are a performance-based school. We are not a visual effects school. And that's where our expertise lies, and we feel that that is what's missing from education in the country. The performance is what sucks you into the films, the videos that you see. It's the acting that's behind the tools that you see. You come out of a movie like The Incredibles or Bolt or Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, and you're sucked into the story and you're talking about the experience that you have, and it's those characters and the acting and the performance that make it worthwhile.
So if you look at our curriculum, we offer drama classes. Our life drawing classes are a bit different from everybody else's. We actually have people flipping drawings of poses of live models. We do a lot of action analysis, body mechanics, that sort of thing that we have incorporated into it now. And we teach a set of a way of thinking, but across several different tool sets. We do have the traditional program where everything is drawing. And by the way, our first year is drawing. You don't touch a computer unless you're doing line test. And the reason for that is because there's something about that tactile feeling of flipping paper and drawing and seeing where that object is placed and trying to in between it and trying to use that hand-eye coordination. There's something about that translates better into animation timing, what's going on in your head, than it does just sitting in front of a computer and using the graph editor.
And as well, the other side of that is that the drawing is so very important in communicating your ideas. When you get into the industry, when you're talking with your directors and your supervisors, you will be drawing out your ideas. If any of you have looked at the art of books, any of the recent films, you'll notice that everything is drawn before it becomes animated. The styles are challenged. They're exploring what they can do visually, and then only when they set on a specific direction do they then take it to a computer or to a traditional screen. So drawing is basically another language, and one of the things that we take very seriously.
You have to be able to think. You get a script, and you have to be able to turn that script into another language, which is the visual language, and there's all kinds of tools for doing that. It doesn't matter if it's 3D, or if it's digital, or if it's traditional, or whatever is going to be in the future, because we don't know what's going to be next. But you have to be able to take that communication and talk to other people about what you're going to do before you start using all the expensive equipment. Any studio will tell you that that's how an animator progresses through their stage of thinking, and it's a very important step, and seems to be something that's getting lost. A lot of schools have different approaches to animation, and it's important for you guys to, if you're looking for a career in animation, to think about what you want to do. Do you want to get into gaming, multimedia type of stuff? Then there's things like the BIT program, and there's other, maybe you're more suited towards a game development program or something. If you want to get into special effects for movies, then maybe something along the lines of Seneca has a really good visual effects program. Sheridan's pretty good at that sort of stuff. If you like doing experimental animation, then there's Concordia, there's Emily Carr, there's places like that. If you want to do performance-based animation, which is sort of, I guess, old-school animation, Disney, Pixar type stuff, then that's what we aspire to. It doesn't mean you're going to graduate from us and go and work for Pixar and Disney, but it means you're taking those steps towards that so that your first jobs will be able to get into a studio that you can then go into a better studio, and that's just how the animation industry works for most people. It still has to be, you learn more in your first year in a studio than you're going to learn in 3 or 4 years in an educational institution.
But that foundation that we provide you will guarantee your success.
That way you're taught to think. And you have to start off this process by choosing the right school that's compatible with what you want to make your career into. So if you choose a school that is visually effects, and that's not something that's only part of what you want to do, but you really want to do, the animation on Spider-Man and not just the visual effects on Spider-Man, then, look at all the schools, look at what they have to offer, make sure that is something that you are interested in. Another thing to do is look at the schools, look at the faculty that they have. Make sure that the school that you pick has people who have worked in the industry, not just, and if they say that they're animators, make sure that they were animators. If you're going for visual effects people, make sure that they were visual effects people. Make sure that they've been there for a while, that they know what they're talking about. In our case, our staff, everyone's been a supervisor of some level. I was a director and a producer. Derek was a director.
An assistant director, overseas director.
We've worked on everything from features, TV, commercials. We've got a wide gamut. I was nominated twice for an Emmy Award and lost twice. So I'm a 2-time loser. But it's all part of the deal, And we take all our experiences, good and bad. We take things that we had to learn the hard way, bring that into the classroom, and tell students, you have to save X number of dollars for taxes, or else you're going to have problems with the tax man, and et cetera, et cetera. And this pays off for us. Our students, we've been a 3-year program now for 4 years, going on 5 years. The last couple of years, we've been over 93% of student placement 6 months after graduation. 100% of the employers have been satisfied with our students. Our students go out with the right attitude, that they're going into a studio ready to learn, not to teach the studio how to do it their way, but how to pick up on what the studio has to offer. We actually have more job offerings than we have students the last couple of years. And that says a lot about the attitude that our students go out into the world with. We're taking people who have been professional students, and we're trying to turn them into professional artists. And it's a big turning point in your life, the next 3 or 4 years. And on the upside, we're starting to win awards now for our student films. This last year, we had a student win an Elan Award in Vancouver, and we had a student win the CTV Cinefest Award. So 2 for 2 wasn't too bad for us. And I guess maybe we'll roll a demo reel now and let that speak for itself, and then we'll answer any questions after that. Okay?